Welcome back, everybody. My name is Andrew, and this is another edition of KiteAmry Labs. Well, it's sunny out here and blinding, but let's ignore that because I'm fresh off a vacation and I'm full of energy and full of things to share with you. Now, here's my home right here, and I really care about my home, so I want to keep an eye on it while I'm away. And I do that by putting surveillance cameras outside. It's not that I live in a high crime area, it's just I want to keep an eye on things, make sure everything's cool. So check this out. I've got two cameras mounted up here. One is the Nest Cam IQ, this big guy over here, and one is a Nest Cam. Now, it sort of seems unusual to have two cameras mounted on your house, but the reason why is I wanted to see how those cameras compare to each other, because they're both made by Nest, but there's a significant cost difference between the two, about $200. So I wanted to find out if that $200 is justified. Now, when I first started making this video, I had some preconceived notion of how this was going to play out, but over the break, or my vacation rather, I realized that well, I'm not going to give away this video. Just check out the video. We're going to show you how to set them up. We're going to show you how they work. We're going to show you them side by side, the different views they are capable of, and then I'll give you the rationale why I think one's better than the other. Let's get into it. So I think the best place to start the comparison between the Cam Outdoor and the Cam IQ is actually a list of specifications provided by Nest on their website. This list was a lot longer. I shortened it to things that I thought were relevant and really made a difference in the performance of these cameras. So you can see the Cam's got a 3 megapixel sensor, where the IQ is an 8 megapixel 4K sensor. The Cam is 8x digital zoom and enhance, where the IQ is 12x, and that's a 4K sensor. Speaking of zoom, the Nest Cam IQ has a really neat feature on it. It's called Super Sight, and what that does is it actually zooms in when it identifies a person in its field of view. The size, basically speaking, I'd say the IQ is twice the size of the Cam. You can see the weight of the Cam is 11 ounces, where the bigger IQ is 20 ounces, so it's almost double. Now, Wi-Fi, they both have a lot of Wi-Fi service and Bluetooth. The only difference is the Cam IQ actually supports AC. They both support 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz frequencies. Now, this is a big difference to a lot of people. This is the operating temperatures of these. You'll notice the Cam has been significantly upgraded. It can handle from -4 degrees to 113 degrees Fahrenheit. So it basically has a bigger span of temperatures it can tolerate. Now, the one thing that's not on the list is the cost. So the Cam costs $199 per Cam, and the Cam IQ costs $349. So there's a $150 difference between those two cameras. Now, we also need to talk about Nest Aware, because these cameras are sort of useless without a subscription, and that's called Nest Aware. And there's a whole bunch of different services. There's a 5, a 10, and a 30. Out of the box with that no Nest Aware, these guys will record for 3 hours and let you see 3 hours, which is probably not nearly enough for a lot of people. So in a nutshell, that's the specifications. Now let's go and look what's inside these boxes. So this part of the video, which is adding the camera to your account, when I'm dealing with other cameras, takes a long time. With Nest, it's so simple. It's a snap. It's ridiculously easy. All you need to do is download that app to your phone. From there, you use your camera on your phone to scan the IRQ code, and then it will connect, your phone will connect to the camera via Bluetooth, like magically. You won't even know it's happened, and that will let it program its Wi-Fi settings and all the stuff it needs to do to connect to your account. It will take all of 5 minutes. It's so simple, you probably won't even know you've done it, and all of a sudden you'll see a display from your camera. Now that you have the Nest app installed, just click it right there like that. This is where you can add your cameras or see the cameras that have already been added to your account. You can see there at the bottom here. I'm just going to click one of the cameras and go right to the live feed of that camera. Now I can scroll right through the day, which is great. Nothing is missed. Anything in its view is recorded 24/7, and this is one of the big pluses of the Nest solution. So let's go and see if we can capture some motion here. Let's go right here. You see I just tapped that thumbnail, and from the top left to the right is a person riding their bike along, and you can see that got its own thumbnail. Now in an area where there's no motion right here, you'll see no thumbnail, and you won't see on the left there right next to the time any zone activity. So depending on the amount of days you get, you can see I've got a 5 days, so I get 5 days of history. If you get a 10 or a 30, you get more days down there. Now just to go to the live feed, you click that button right there, and you can also talk to someone on the outside, two-way conversation. And finally, if there's any clip that you want to save, you just hit new clip right here. It will generate the clip. This puts it online, as well as giving you availability to download it to your phone. You can see that's 59 seconds long. I hit save to camera. It'll download that straight to my camera, and it's also available online, which is great. Everything you're seeing here on the smartphone is available online, and in fact, there are some more features online. So if you don't have access to your phone at the time, you can see all your clips, you can view any feed from your camera. It gives you a lot of options compared to some of the other camera solutions out there. Sorry that got a little technical there, kind of got away from me. It is now time to see the money shots. Let's see some side-by-sides from the Nest Cam and the Nest Cam IQ. Thank you for hanging in there with me. That was a lot of technical stuff flying around, but really it was necessary to understand how these cameras work. So now we're at the point where we need to do the summary, and we have a few things we got to accomplish here. The number one thing is whether the Nest Cam IQ is worth the extra cost over the Nest Cam. But before that, let me just tell you something. I've been looking for a camera that's suitable for my application for about 6 months ago. I've gone through the Arlo, I've gone through the Yi, I've gone through Swann, EasyViz. Some of them were NVR solutions where you had a recorder, some of them were just cloud, some of them were local storage. I've gone the gamut. And I have to say I started with Nest. That was the first camera I tried, and I was kind of turned off to Nest because of the cost of Nest Aware, which is their cloud storage solution that you really have to make these cameras worthwhile. So since I did that first review, they've actually added another 5-day service, which is a lot cheaper and has lowered that Nest Cam cloud cost. And now you can basically have a set of cameras on your house, 4 or 5 cameras, for about $150 per year. Not bad considering how good the recording is, and more importantly, that it's 24/7 recording. That's such an important point. Some of these other cameras you look at, like the Arlo, the Blink, they only record when there's motion detected, and if they don't detect motion, guess what? There's no recording. The Nest Cams, both solution, the Cam and the Cam IQ, record everything they see. So I think that's a big plus for this solution. So let's go back to the original question now. Is the Nest Cam IQ worth the extra cost over the Nest Cam? And I think the answer is sometimes. Let me tell you what I think the right scenario to install a Nest Cam IQ is. On the front of your house where you get lots of motion, sometimes it's cars, sometimes it's a person riding a bike, sometimes it's someone walking. Well, the Nest Cam IQ can differentiate between those types of objects and give you better information on your phone. Not to say that Nest Cam won't have it, it's just the thumbnails aren't as well done. They don't have super sight, so you can't zoom in. So you kind of have to play around with it more with the Nest Cam. So I think on the front of the house where you got lots of activity, or a place where you've got lots of activity, the Nest Cam IQ is perfect. Now in the back of my house, I have woods, so Nest Cam, saving that little extra money, is perfect for back there. There's nothing that ever really happens. I won't get a lot of motion detection notifications. Perfect. So the answer is sometimes yes, the Nest Cam is worth it, sometimes it's not. Anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. Please, if you did, make sure you hit the like below and subscribe to my channel. Check out all my other content. I have a bunch of content on cameras. Make sure you see that. And I will see you guys hopefully around real soon.